As we look to see if answers are reasonable, it's important to go ahead and look at the answers that you're getting and compare them with things that you already know, and use the estimation and rounding things that we've used in the past to see if those answers that you're getting make sense or are reasonable. So as I look at this, for instance, one cord of hardwood makes pages for 942 hardcover books. Each of those books have 100 pages, and how many pages does one cord make? So we have a measurement term there called a cord that's used to measure hardwood trees, and they're telling us some information right there. So let's go ahead and do some things that would make sense or be reasonable. If there was just one page, it said one cord of hardwood makes pages for 942 hardcover books, and each of those books would just have one page. Those would be really short books for starters, but then that would be 942 books. Each one of them would have one page, and they would have enough for 942 books. Okay? If each of those books had 10 pages, now you would have 942 with a 0, because like we talked about before, when you multiply times 10, you end in 1 0. So that would be if there were 10. Our problem actually has 100, so we have 942, 2 zeros, which would be 94,200. So we have one cord of hardwood makes pages for 942 hardcover books. We looked at each one of those books. If it was a one-page book, that would be 942. If it was each one of those books were 10-page books, that would be 9,420. And our problem said each of those books has 100 pages. So in that case, it would be 94,200 pages. Doing what makes sense or is reasonable in the problem. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. This next one has already been done, and then we get to see if it makes sense or if it's reasonable. It says an average of 1,096 commemorative postage stamps can be made from 1 pound of hardwood. There are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. So is it reasonable to say a ton of hardwood can make more than 1,000,000 stamps? So it says that 1,096 commemorative postage stamps can be made from 1 pound. So 1,096 from 1 pound. So if we're going to continue up for 1 pound, let's say we are going to go to 1,000 pounds. One, two, 3 zeros. So we just made it 1,000 times bigger. So we add those 3 zeros. That would be if it was 10 times bigger. That's what it would be if it was 100 times bigger. Now it's 1,000 times bigger. So even if it was just 1,000 pounds, even if it was just 1,000 pounds, we would have more than 1,000,000. You can see here 1,000. Now we have a ton, which would be double that, so 2,000 pounds. So we would take what we had here before and actually double it. So that would still be 3 zeros there. 6 times 2 would be 12. 2 times 9 would be 18. One more would be 19. So yes, it would be reasonable to say that a ton of hardwood, we just figured out what a ton of hardwood would make on 1 ton. Can make more than 1,000,000 stamps. It actually made more than 2,000,000 stamps. So this is how you would look at answers and see if those answers are reasonable or if they are not reasonable, if they make sense or they don't make sense, looking at the things that we've looked at already.